Renowned physicist Lisa Randall of Harvard University added an interesting nuance to these shocking discoveries. In some models, these dimensions are not completely closed off, but could become permeable in certain energetic or cosmological states. The consequence of this consideration would be that the matter visible and familiar to us remains trapped within our 3D world, while gravity and other fundamental forces can escape into higher dimensions and exert their influence there. This would also explain why gravity is so much weaker than other forces of nature, and this idea could even influence the existence of dark matter or dark energy. Quantum-based analysis showed that certain light patterns and frequency distortions repeated systematically across multiple galaxy clusters. These so-called quantum signatures do not occur chaotically, but follow mathematical orders known from theories of extra-dimensional geometry. Certain energy patterns and light delays can only be explained if one assumes that light has moved through a medium that has multidimensional properties. This brings us back to the dimensions of string theory, or models that assume that there are folds in spacetime. Initial supplementary simulations with AI-supported models confirmed that such signatures would indeed be typical of interactions with higher dimensional spatial structures. The next steps include peer reviews, independent data analyses by research teams at MIT, Princeton, and CERN, and planned follow-up observations with JWST to clarify. Have we really peered through the veil of additional dimensions for the first time? Or was it all a mistake? Alternative explanations are also shocking. The scientific community did not hesitate to immediately verify the results of Google's AI analysis in every respect, and to find alternative explanations for the strange light patterns and quantum signatures. Not all researchers are convinced that there is only one explanation for the light patterns and quantum signatures. An obvious possibility would, of course, be an error in the system. Telescopes such as JWST are highly complex precision instruments, but like all other machines or technical equipment, they are not infallible. Errors in the sensor's calibration, deviations, or data interference from cosmic radiation could have created patterns that are not real at all, in which case we would be dealing with results that arise from processing or interpretation. The use of new quantum algorithms could also lead to overinterpretation if random fluctuations are misinterpreted as structured signatures. The new technology is still being tested, and quantum computers and AI-based analyses are prone to errors. But what if the signatures are real and still have nothing to do with extra-dimensional spaces? In quantum physics, there are many peculiarities and effects that are still poorly understood and do not fit into our conventional understanding of spacetime. Quantum effects, such as non-locality, spooky action at a distance, or quantized gravity, could also have produced the light patterns. A third fascinating possibility is that we are on the verge of discovering something completely new. Perhaps these are, as yet, unknown physical phenomena. It would not be the first time that an inexplicable effect has led to the discovery of a new force. Cosmic background radiation was also once discovered through a similarly bizarre and inexplicable measurement result. What is already certain is that Google has discovered more than just a mathematical curiosity in Webb's data. Such patterns do not appear without reason. String theory also works in your world. Can you imagine that you are feeling strings right now, controlling them, and thus participating in creation? String theory is more than just a theory or a thought experiment for physicists. It's an attempt to reduce everything, absolutely everything that exists, to a single building block, tiny vibrating strands of energy. These cosmic strands are unimaginably small by a factor of 10 to the minus 35 m, and yet they are supposed to explain the nature of all particles, all forces, and all spacetime. If this is the case, then you too are made up of these vibrating strings, as is everything you can see at this moment. Your body, your thoughts, the light on your skin, the sound of my voice. All of this could be an expression of different vibration modes of the microscopic strings. This brings us to a fascinating question. What if our daily experiences interfere with this structure without us noticing or knowing? Simply realizing that you are influencing strings at this very moment could change your life forever. Perhaps you will become more conscious of your influences and vibrate your strings with more power and purpose. Or you may decide to send one or two messages into invisible dimensions. Maybe you will receive an answer from there. There are several models that bridge the gap between physics and philosophy and assume that our consciousness is not only a consequence of this structure, but interacts with it. In quantum physics, the observer effect is normal. The way a system is measured or seen influences its state. This would make it normal for our thoughts, feelings, and decisions to generate tiny resonances in these hidden spaces. Physically, this is difficult to grasp. However, some theories such as a holographic principle or the so-called brain cosmology actually assume that our universe is located on a kind of membrane or brain that floats through a higher space, the bulk. Everything we experience could be the projection of a deeper information field, and our actions could create small waves in it. Imagine that every thought is like a light breeze blowing across a stretched network of strings. Some of these movements are meaningless. Others could create resonances in certain constellations. These amplifications, which propagate through layers, would then have far-reaching influences. Perhaps phenomena such as intuitive knowledge, synchronicities, or inexplicable creative breakthroughs, such as flashes of inspiration or sudden insights, are the results of resonances with other dimensions. Of course, from a scientific point of view, this remains pure speculation. String theory has not yet been confirmed experimentally, and even the new Google data provides little certainty. However, the inability of our researchers to explain phenomena does not mean that these effects and perhaps even hidden dimensions and worlds do not exist. Click subscribe now. The best videos are yet to come. Has the James Webb Telescope just opened the door to a new dimension? That's exactly what Google Quantum Lab claims. It's a bold thesis, but newly evaluated data shows real signs of an invisible dimension. In collaboration with Google's Quantum Research Department, a team of physicists has reached deep into the infrared spectrum of Webb's data for patterns that cannot be explained by classical physical models. The results are strange light diffractions and repeated signatures that may point to something beyond our three-dimensional space. The researchers refer to the newly discovered data as anomalies that do not occur by chance. They follow fascinating mathematical patterns that have long been predicted in string theory. This theory assumes that our reality consists of more than the three known spatial dimensions and another dimension of time, some of which are said to be rolled up or hidden. Until now, the theory was considered and proven. But what if we are now seeing these dimensions for the first time, or at least observing their effects? Urgent questions need to be answered. Could the discoveries really be evidence of another dimension? And would this make part of string theory empirically tangible, or even proven for the first time? Perhaps skeptics argue that there could be something completely different behind the data. It could be a new physical phenomenon, an error in the instrumentation, or a fundamental gap in our understanding of the world. Additional dimensions? Nothing has been proven yet. The scientific world is electrified. Several teams around the world are currently trying to repeat the analysis independently and with their own algorithms to verify Google's results. This approach is standard in science. Results must be confirmed multiple times by independent research teams before they are accepted as scientifically probable. Furthermore, supplementary and targeted observations with the Webb telescope and other ground-based telescopes are planned to confirm or refute the strange data. What is certain at present is that the boundaries of what we thought we knew about space, time, and reality have been shaken. However, what exactly lies behind the mysterious Webb signatures will only become clear in the coming months. Evidence of a hidden world. The Webb data and the shocking results. It's incredible what our science can now achieve with just a few measurements. The evidence of portals to other dimensions of our reality was not obtained using conventional methods. At the center of the current speculation is a novel form of data analysis developed in collaboration with the Google Quantum AI Lab. Quantum-optimized algorithms were used to re-examine James Webb data from the AEL 2744 galaxy cluster. The process combines classic data processing with quantum mechanical principles to identify deeper patterns that cannot be detected by conventional systems because they are too complex or too subtle. Unlike conventional computers, which process information in binary form, quantum computers use qubits. A binary system uses a code consisting of zeros and ones, which represents all conceivable results through unique sequences. The system selects either a 0 or a 1 for each expression. Qubits are zeros and ones at the same time and do not have to express themselves in complicated code chains. This makes them thousands of times faster and able to represent complex results that the classic binary system could not express. This is made possible by the quantum peculiarities of superposition and entanglement. Qubits analyze a multitude of possible states simultaneously and are particularly useful in searching for nonlinear patterns in huge astronomical datasets. The researchers use this technology to filter out subtle, repeating patterns of light and structure from the JWST's enormous volume of data that were previously undetectable. What the AI discovered was shocking. The mathematical signatures isolated from the data bore a striking resemblance to predictions from string theory. Particularly exciting were geometrically ordered structures that extended across different regions of the galaxy cluster and were repeated in several independent fields of observation. These anomalies thus exhibited a regularity that cannot be explained by classical gravitational lensing effects or known galactic dynamics. The research group's initial interpretation was that these could be the effects of additional spatial dimensions. String theory is currently one of the only candidates that can combine the quantum world with classical physics as a theory of everything. It assumes that the universe consists not only of 3 spatial dimensions plus time, but of a total of 10 to 12 dimensions. Several of these are said to be extremely small, rolled up or compacted in such a way that we can hardly detect them with our conventional means. We cannot see them in our macroscopic everyday lives, yet these extra dimensions and unknown worlds are everywhere, and therefore also part of your life.